Go ahead.
Okay, howdy. So, we wanted to come in and share with you guys about first the importance of social media and this whole coaching business, and just kind of to like give you the bare minimum basics, what you need to know about posting to be able to grow your business. So, the first thing is probably the biggest thing with social media is consistency. We've all seen that person who's started this new thing, whether it's coaches or a skincare thing or a jewelry thing or whatever, and they like throw out this big post and they're like, hey, I'm starting this thing and it's going to be really fun. Who wants to join me? And then you never hear anything about it from them again. And so, as far as we go as coaches, it is extremely important to be consistent and you want to be present on social media so that people see you showing up. And it really all starts, like we could go way into this, but it really all starts with like you showing up for yourself, you doing the things that are going to move you forward in life, in your health and um, physical, mental, emotional well-being, all that stuff. You show up for you, and then you document that on social media so other people see you showing up. It creates trust with people. They get to know you, they get to like you, and then they trust you, and then they join you. And so showing up at least once a day, and I think Brian will go over this a little bit more, or am I going over this? I forget now, but no, it's me. So at least once a day, probably 1 to 3 times a day on either of the on any of your platforms, really. Facebook and Instagram are the biggest ones right now. And some would probably say Instagram is bigger than Facebook. So you want to be posting to your main feed, your wall, at least 1 to 3 times a day. That way, when people are hopping on, they're seeing you pop up. Brian's going to talk about what to post about, but they're seeing you pop up every day, and they know that they can depend on seeing that. And as you talk to more people, and we'll get into that after about reaching out, but as you talk to more people, there are going to be some that aren't going to jump right in with you. They're not going to be as excited about it because you almost have to prove to them first that you are going to, that like you're in this for the long haul. It's not just a one and done. It's a be here in a year type of thing, because there's like a 3 to 6 month kind of lag in how this business works. So the seeds that you sow now, you're going to be able to reap in 3 to 6 months. But the only way that you can do that is by being consistent and showing up for yourself and showing up for your followers and your people every day. And so the 1 to 3 times is, just a general idea. If you have one great quality post, like sometimes once is enough. If you've got a few little things, then you can do, 1, 2, or 3 with Instagram stories. And then a lot of them cross over to Facebook stories. You can focus on having one really good quality post a day with like a great picture, something you might spend a little bit more time on. And a good caption providing value. And then you can go in your Instagram stories and you can post there like 12 to 20 times a day if you want, about all the little things in your life that are just happening. You're just documenting and sharing little bits and pieces of every day. And people are really nosy, really, when it comes down to it. And they want to see what you're doing and see what your life is like. They're looking for something to relate to. I think that's what we all look for, whether we're watching reality TV or we're stalking someone on social media. Like, we want to be like, ooh, I wonder what they're doing. Ooh, like, I wonder if they're like anything at all like me. And so like sharing that kind of stuff and sharing it consistently is going to be the most important part of your social media. Everything will get you will get better. Like, we all suck at the beginning. No offense, Brianne. But we
Speak for
all.
yourself.
Okay, Brianne is a posting master, but
Oh, please.
I look back and I'm like, ugh. But I was consistent and I showed up every day. And I have people who, I reach out to them. They're like, yeah, I've been following you for a while. And you may not know it, but people are watching. And so you need to be showing up for those people and showing them that you are in it to win it and here for the long haul. So be consistent.
We post regularly and consistently so people see that we're real, and the reality TV of it is really fun because you get to see people's real lives. But literally, while you were just talking, I just got a message from someone that just reached out to me because they've been watching me. I've never seen this person's name on my Facebook at all, and it just popped up.
Awesome.
So do you want me to hop into what to post about?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I am going to share my screen because I've got these images popped up. So share here. So when you're trying to figure out what to post about, you really need to dial into who you are. So think about the different roles you have in life. Like, here's a list. Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you work outside the home, like outside of your Beachbody business? Do you have pets? Do you have friends? What makes you stand out as a person? What makes you unique? What are your passions? What are your hobbies? What do you do on your time off? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What makes you laugh? What's your message? What are your goals? Like, what makes you tick? So these are all the things that you can pull from to post about, because you're not posting about, oh, look at this Shakeology that I have. It's so delicious. That's how we used to post. And people just see it as a sale. Like, you're not trying to sell this. You're trying to sell yourself so that people will trust you and believe in you and will want to tell you, oh, like this person just reached out and said, my mom passed away a year ago. So she's relating to things that I post about. The more you can be vulnerable and really share about you, the more people are going to trust you and be able to tell you things that are personal to them. And that's the whole thing with this business, is it's very personal. People are going to tell you how much weight they want to lose. They're going to tell you their struggles. They're going to tell you their weaknesses, but they're not going to tell you these things unless you can be real with them and upfront with them. So looking at all of these things, you've got to be able to pull from somewhere. And worst comes to worst, if you can't post about one of these things, post about your workout that you did that day. Post about the professional development that you're reading. Post about some other aspect of your business. Maybe you have a challenger who's doing really well and you want to give them a shout out. Sometimes they don't like you to use their names. Like, I had to do a post tonight about somebody. She didn't want me to use her name. So I just had to tell my story along with it and her story and mention her success. So who you are plays a huge part in what you post. And you're sharing, you're not selling. So just like I just said, you're not taking a picture of your Shakeology cup and saying, look at this Shakeology I'm drinking. It costs $130 a bag. Who's going to want that? So look at your selling versus your sharing. So you're selling, you're sharing, you put facts up, versus sharing, you're adding value. You're adding lots of value, and then you ask someone a question. So this superfood shake, it has 7 salads in a glass. It's like eating a shit ton of vegetables. And I don't like to eat vegetables. Do you like to eat vegetables? You're going to get some traction. So you're always asking people things if you're selling versus telling a story. Selling doesn't share any value. It doesn't add any value. It focuses on the sale. It will be a picture of my Energize box rather than like me drinking a neon yellow drink. There's no personal connection. When you see those posts that people put up, they're trying to sell their product, you can tell. There's no story that goes into it. There's no personal connection. There's no target audience. It's for anybody. A lot of it looks generic. They copy and paste their messages. And they are driven on trying to make a sale. They're trying to make money. So when we're sharing, we're adding value, we're telling stories, we're focusing on having people trust us. We're giving tips and resources. Like, we're already giving them the value and what they need before they invest in us. You connect to your target audience. So when I post, I'm not gearing my posts towards men over 50. I'm gearing my posts towards moms who are a mess, who work too much, who don't know how to stop working. So you're gearing towards your target audience. Who do you want to be friends with, basically? You're using your own images. You're not pulling like stock images from Beachbody. You're personalizing your messages rather than just everyone gets the same message. You're posting transformation, and you need to be thinking long term, not just, I want to make a commission on this. So, and that comes from jab, jab, right hook. And then thinking about who your audience is. That's what you need to do too when you make a post. So you want to look for your ideal customer. So who is your audience? You know, are you looking for, like I said, moms? Are you looking for someone who wants to quit their job, who goes to work and they're miserable? Are you looking for someone who's trying to get a six-pack? Are you looking for someone who loves recognition? So build your ideal customer. Then speak to that ideal customer on social media. So if you think about who you were before Beachbody or who you are when you're starting Beachbody, relate to them, talk to them. If you just had a baby, you want to talk to that audience. So think about who you were before, but also think about who you are now and speak to them as you would speak to yourself. Then add value to their life. So you want to challenge their thinking. You want to address their preconceived notions. So, you know, all those things that you would have said no about, like for me, it costs too much. Address it. Address it in your post. I don't have enough time. Address it in your post. So show that you can do those things. Combat those objections before you even have them. And share valuable content, share valuable tips, share valuable resources. This is why we sometimes do free groups too, so that we can share that value and then also inspire people. Be the example. So if you do those things when you are posting, you're good to go.
Faux show. Yeah, I agree with everything Brian said. Like, especially, I know at one point I was like, when you're trying to post to everyone and you want everyone to like it and you want to get everyone to reach out to you, you're really just posting to no one, because when you are putting stuff out with that broad of a net, I guess, then you just end up, you don't catch anything because it doesn't really, like, you can't really resonate with someone, rather than like really narrowing it down. And like Brian said, like, talk to yourself before Beachbody. Talk in your own voice, like you're talking to your best friend. Like, I started when I was writing my posts, like, if I were to read this out loud, would it sound like me? And I'm not going to say, I can't even think of anything right now, but I'm awful with that. But you sound like you. Share your experiences. If you're doing the vital behaviors, you're working out, like Brian said, you're reading your PD, you're, inviting and recognizing and celebrating all the wins, then you have stuff to post about and you have stuff to share. And I heard a really good tip the other day, and it was they're talking about social media and how you should document, not create. Like, you don't worry about coming up with something to post. Live your life, do your stuff, and document about it. Like, there's so many people that are going to be inspired just by seeing you post that you were working out every day, or you're 4 or 5 days a week. And so not being afraid to share that and be you and share your parts of your story. Like, you can break up your story into so many itty bitty little pieces. Like, you can make years worth of posts. Okay. So now you've posted, now you've started to post consistently. Now what do you do? Because you could post your little heart out and still not grow any sort of business. So this is where, you have to start taking action. And so there are a few different ways, and based on, the platform that you're working on. I want you to get out a notebook, because you need something to start tracking. And first, for Facebook, you are going to go through, let's say your last, 2, 3, 5 posts. You're going to write down the names of everyone that liked or commented on that post. Then you're going to reach out to those people. That gives you a list, and you're going to reach out to those people. And you're going to say things that, you're going to say, hey, thanks for the love of my post. Like, hey, I saw your name pop up. Like, how are you? You can start a simple conversation, as easy as that. It gets you in their inbox. It gets a conversation going. If you are putting up a post, what we call a call to action. So a couple times a week, you'll put up a post with a hard invite. So this is, I'm doing this. We're starting this boot camp this day, or we're starting a new coach training this day. Are you interested? Drop me an emoji if you want more information. You do a couple of those hard invites a week. If you've got a post like that up and you've got all these people that have liked it and commented, you're going to reach out to those people and invite them to what you were inviting them to. They are clearly following you. They are putting themselves in your space, in your business. Just like if you had a brick and mortar store and someone walked into the store, you would expect that they're there to do something or shop or buy something, or that they're looking for something that you might be able to help them with. And as you reach out and invite them, you can, like I said, as simple as, hey, I saw your name pop up. Thanks for loving my post. Not sure if you're just, showing support, or if you wanted more information on my boot camp, and then you can go from there. You end with a question. We can do a convo call next time, maybe. And then that builds your list, and that gives you a list of people to start reaching out to. That's considered your warm market. Those are people that, like I said, they're in your space. They are, they're liking your post. That's giving, you permission to talk with them and invite them. And so you go through your posts, and I will go through, like, usually every week, I'll go through my posts and write down those names, and start inviting those people, or starting conversations, checking in. A lot of the people, I might not have talked with in a while. So that's kind of on Facebook, but it's the same idea with Instagram and IG stories. You can actually see the people who are watching your stories. If you go into your own stories and you swipe up on your screen, it'll pull up all the people that have viewed your story. And so you can go through and message all of those people. You write it down, track it somehow, however you're doing that. And you can message all of those people. You can do invites in IG stories and, message all the people who did that. You can do a poll. That's super easy. Be like, hey, you want more information on this? Yes or no? Or yes and yes. And people will click on one, and that gives you the go ahead to invite them. And what am I forgetting? What else? Does that even make sense? Okay. I feel like I was going to say something else. Now I forgot.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah. So much for winging it. Do you have anything else to add? I'm sure I'll think of something.
I don't think so. I think that touches upon the basics of why we post, how we post, where we post.
Oh, and when to post. I would think about when you are on your social media most, because that's probably when your audience and your target market is going to be on social media. So like for me, it's like either right before people are going to work, like 7:00, and then like 8:30 to 9:30 at night after bedtime, after kids have gone to bed, and people are just sitting on their phones, and even like during like afternoon hours, like if it's nap time or a lunchtime. But you'll get to figure that out the more you do and the more consistent you are. I think that's it.
I just did an Instagram story of us.
Oh, cool.
Tagged ya.
Great. Once I get my phone up and going, I will still working on that.
Well, cool.
Having a phone.
What's that?
Not having a phone really puts a damper on posting consistently, but I'm doing my best anyway.
All right.
Life happens.
Well,
Okay.
been good.
Okay. Bye.